Et bonjour tout le monde. On va commencer sans plus de cérémonie. Patientez. Hop, ça je le mets à ce niveau-là. Wouh. Hop, ça je coupe. Alors ça pas besoin. Ça pas besoin. Pas besoin. Pas besoin. Qu'est-ce qu'on a besoin? Du jeu, oui en effet. Normalement on a fini dans 3 heures. Normalement. On refait ce petit jeu tranquille au bilou. Hein. Parce que j'ai oublié de le mettre sur YouTube. Donc bien sûr on l'a fini. Hein. Comme vous voyez. On a tout. Les dessins, du moins de Edith. Même si il n'y a pas marqué la date. Mais bon. Parce qu'il me semble que je peux jouer avec la manette. Oui. On va rejouer toute l'histoire. Des Finch. Toute l'arbre généalogique des Finch. Coucou Kikounette. Oh mais... Nouvelle partie. Et oui. Je vous laisse avec la cinématique.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Mettez pause pour lire, hein, parce que... Franchement...
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop in.
Coucou Mato, merci pour la série de 3 visionnages. Comment vas-tu?
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Ouais, ils en ont du journal.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
C'était où ça? Ah. Je n'étais pas revenue depuis l'enterrement de mon frère Lewis.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Alors... J'ai pas envie, mais... On va remonter après, mais... Y'a pas de... Non? Pas de blabla? Je sais plus où il y a le blabla, hein. Pour être honnête. C'est pas où qu'on remonte. Par là. Et ma cocotte, dans ton état, t'es pas censé le faire. Hein. C'est vrai que on voit pas les pieds.
Oui, elle a pas de pied.
Bah, c'est vraiment en mode comme si que c'était nous, quoi. On fait ça, on le voit, hein. On le sent.
Oui. Et heureusement.
Bon. Ah,
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
des traces de sabots. Ah, de cerf, je suppose. Valérie derrière. Ah, je t'avais pas vu.
The truth
Marion,
is,
oui.
even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Valérie Damido.
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Tu te rends compte, Miss, que tu vas devoir monter tout là-haut? La chute est d'autant plus... La voie de l'Est. On fait demi-tour, on a vu la baraque, c'est bon, on peut se barrer. La 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 la, la 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 la.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do.
Je veux voir s'il y a un autre blabla. Hein. Là, on arrive vers le chemin, donc je pense que non. Bon. Ouais, ouais. Fais gaffe à tes fesses.
Fais ça.
Ouais, ou je vais te foutre du silicone, moi, tu vois. Tu vas rebondir.
Wing, 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 wing. Putain.
Oh. Oh, toujours pas. C'est qui m'a mis encore un... Non, c'est bon. J'ai peur. Et Kikounette, à ton avis, combien de fois tu vas pouvoir avoir les séries de visionnage? Et combien de séries de visionnage tu vas pouvoir faire en d'affilée? En te connaissant? Oh, tu vas être là pour une fois, et après tu vas repartir. Ou tu vas pas avoir le temps de venir. Possible. Wow. On a le monstre du Loch Ness. Pas si je me concentre.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I
Quoi?
was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Ah oui, pour son deuxième frère. Oh, bah ça c'est sûr, heureusement. Ok, on peut pas aller plus loin. On est loin de l'été hein,
As a
encore.
child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Mais qui a ça dans son jardin? Wesh. Milton Finch.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
D'accord, donc t'as 17 ans, t'es en cloque. Soit la bague c'est celle de ta mère, soit t'as déjà perdu le père.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Faut pas changer.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Coucou Lucky. Pas t'asseoir. Repose-toi dans ton état, bordel.
Elle veut pas.
Je sais plus en plus où est-ce qu'il faut. Bah là. Attends, on a rien là?
The house felt like it
Ah.
had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother. Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Quand t'avais 11 ans, oui.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
C'est quoi? C'est une canette. Ouf, et j'ai envie de te dire, vu l'heure qu'on s'est couché, on se rapproche. Hein. Oh, un jaune dormi! Et avec tout ça, les pneus sont toujours bons. Hein.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Vous vouliez une recette de gâteau pour cadeau? Une tarte aux pommes. À mon avis, il y a aussi du chocolat, non? Salt crispy. Non, ça a pas l'air. Je sais pas. Wow. Ah non, ok. De là où j'étais, je croyais que ça...
Oui, c'est bon.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Oh la vache.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
On m'avait explosé tout le monde. On sent où t'étais assise, ma cocotte. Le vin renversé. L'assiette pétée. Là, c'est le truc de Eddie. De sa grand-mère.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Senteur de purée, Lucky. Oh, je peux rien dire avec mes Sims.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
On va monter.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Je sais pas par où on commençait en fait.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Ah, la chambre de Grégory.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Enfin, la chambre de Grégory. Calvin.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
On bah, on monte.
Mom must have locked the 3rd floor stairs on the night we left.
Oh putain. Molly.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Envoyer un enfant.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Avec la maison, la première maison.
Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
T'es enceinte jusqu'au cou et tu fais ça.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
La chambre de Molly.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
De quoi? Alors, j'ai pas 40 000 heures sur les Sims, mais je me défends.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Oh, d'accord.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
My Halloween candy was all gone. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her, And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits. His face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark. I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seeds. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good. Grabbed on tight, and I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
putain, quel con.
Depuis tout à l'heure, il était. Et là, c'est que je t'entendais pas dans le film.
Coucou Vic, du coup. Oh, putain. Quel con. Je dis c'est bizarre, je vois pas la caution. Bah oui, en même temps. Pardon. Allez, on continue. Donc je disais, là-bas, vous voyez le pic de la maison, de la première maison. Celle-ci est la deuxième. Allez, on va rentrer dans la chambre de grand-mère Edith.
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
Putain, tous les oiseaux. Burpee. Bob. Oh, il y a un serpent. Toi, c'était quoi ton petit nom? I don't know. On voit pas. Burpee. Non mais tu les as appelés tous Burpee ou... Ah non, là c'est Burpee. Derpee.
We got along and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Zerpee. Oh, une chouette. Burpee. Burpee. Lurpee. Non mais elle avait un problème avec les robes. Grenouille, d'accord. Elle peignait la...
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Oh bah ça se voit que t'aimes bien les gants.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Eh ho, on rentre du boulot. Pardon. De quoi? Ah, pour le raid de Dominica.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Un homme taupe. On peut pas si bien dire.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. Her room was like a museum.
Odin.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Elle était belle la baraque, hein. Ça commence, elle a les fils. Hein? tricoter? Pourquoi? Qu'est-ce que j'ai dit? Attends, Lucky, j'ai pas suivi. J'ai pas suivi du tout. Non! Non! Ça va bien et toi?
But 40-foot
Scientifique.
waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Ah! Ah, il y a des nains. C'est littéralement les nains de...
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Attends, je vais juste prendre en photo.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Alors, j'en ai plusieurs. Attendez. Parce que il me manque des succès, bien entendu. Je l'ai déjà joué, hein. Donc j'ai eu que 4 succès, donc j'en avais eu que 3 avant. Là, j'ai eu le 4e avec la chouette. Mais il y a Merci Johanna et toute route. Emprunter les 2 sentiers vers la maison. Et la fin de tout, bien entendu. Donc j'ai Grégory, j'ai examen approfondi. Regarder dans tous les trous et les télescopes assez longtemps pour entendre le commentaire d'Edith. Refaites l'histoire de Calvin. Bon. Empocher toutes les billes à la table de billard. Toucher. Pardon. Et laisser le marin ivre terminer sa chanson. Ah merde! Bon bah j'aurais pas succès là. Oupsie. Je l'ai bouffé avant. Non. Attends, c'est aller où? Ressortir par là? Non. Donc il doit y avoir un...
The only
ballon.
trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
C'est une trace de taille. Par contre, le miroir, il est plus miroir. Hein. Il est là. Ah, tu montes en plus tes pieds sur... Oh, bah, t'as raison.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Et je vois des notifs, putain, je déteste les notifs. Oh putain. Bon, attendez. Alors... Là. Ah non, je suis con. Navas, il est déjà là. Alors, lancer. On va faire ça. Voilà. Comme ça, c'est spécifié. Dadou. Dadou, dadou. Dadou, dadou. Dadou. Pardon. Oui, un pétage de câble. Ah, il y a un qui vient de lancer. J'attends La pub se dégage. Allez! Morceau, je sais pas quoi. Voilà. Hop, vous récupère.
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Clairement.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, he swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly. But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Oh putain.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Or maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Il me faut toujours les frissons.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Oh! Bonjour Patrick! Bonjour le raid! Bienvenue, bienvenue tout le monde! Merci beaucoup Patrick. Comment s'est passé votre live? C'était sur Final Fantasy? Cette, Rebirth. Je suis pas très Final Fantasy, donc je ne connais pas forcément. Je me suis arrêtée avec Cloud et Jake. Mais moi en version yaoi, donc c'est pas le délire. Comment s'est passé votre live? Attendez, du coup, on va faire quand même la chanson du raid. Bah, quand même, vas-y, je suis pas non plus. Bon, je te l'accorde, c'est grâce à Kingdom Hearts, mais je connais quand même aussi Sephiroth. Nickel alors. Je vous laisse la petite musique de raid et on se reprend juste après.
Bienvenue au Raid, ici c'est chez toi, je vais faire les présentations. Je suis la princesse des étoiles, la mère et sœur des Lumas. Je suis Luna. Malgré mon travail, j'essaie de venir régulièrement égayer vos journées. On me connaît plus souvent pour du Sims, mais c'est assez varié. Aux simulations jusqu'aux enquêtes, tout le monde est bienvenu à l'observatoire. This is your observator. Sourire et bienveillance sont nos mots. Aimante et protectrice sont ma personnalité. Aucune rime ne peut reprendre notre rythme. Pam pam pam. Oh oui. Pam pam pam, ça ne suffit pas. Pam pam pam. Pam pam pam. This is your observator. Il y a tellement de jeux à faire. Installez-vous à nos côtés, il y a de la place. Dans nos cœurs si chauds, on fera la paire. I said, you are. This is your observator. Sourire et bienveillance sont nos mots. Aimante et protectrice sont ma personnalité. Aucune rime ne peut reprendre notre rythme. Installe-toi, en un clic, tu peux te follow.
Merci encore pour ton raid, Patrick. Allez, on peut continuer. Sans que je m'en mêle les pinceaux, ce serait sympa, voilà. Là. Oui, Meluma. Vous êtes Meluma. Pourquoi? Parce que harmonie. Et que j'aime bien les étoiles. Qui connaît? Va regarder un let's play tout de suite de Mario Galaxy. Merci. Le fouet. Attends, mon fouet, il est où mon fouet? Il est là mon fouet. Non mais Kikou. Double. Merci pour le lurk, Chronos. Et Wareis. Désolé si je n'ai pu parler. 1, 2, 3, je recommence ma phrase. Merci. Bonjour à Wareis. Ouais. Et il y a pas si longtemps, on vient de se réveiller. Hein. Hier, on a coupé à minuit, j'en peux plus.
Il y a un peu de langage encore.
Oh.
Oui.
Allez, on continue.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Je connaissais pas cette commande là. Oui, non mais... Oui, oh bah oui. Oui, parce que moi je l'ai pas mis, donc oui.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Bah tu m'étonnes. Tout lui rappeler son frère jumeau décédé, vas-y. Hein. Le lit, même parfait. Déjà, c'est bien beau qu'il ait voulu rester dans cette chambre. Hein. Ah, ils étaient vraiment en mode jumeau. Hein. Alors, Edith Finch, c'est vraiment un jeu narratif qui explique la famille Finch. Je crois qu'au... Attends, je suis petit, comme ça. On est Edith, donc la personne qui est tout en haut, juste à côté des Finch, et qui refait l'histoire de sa généalogie, du moins, pour un petit être qui est là. Bon, ça finit mal, mais... Toutes les histoires, ils sont décédés avant leur âge véritable, quoi. Il y a juste Edith. Enfin, Edith, non, Eddie. Eddie. Faut que j'arrête de dire Edith. Parce que Edith, c'est moi. Très certainement. Je sais plus. Sûrement All Might ou Mika, je sais pas. Edith. Ouais, non, je préfère mon prénom quand même de ce côté-là, mais Luna, c'est très bien aussi. Bref, normalement, j'ai fait toutes les... Allez, hop. Et la petite chenille qui se rentre le cul. Et on ouvre. Oh, un papillon. Et on pousse. Ton prénom c'est Ginette.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Conçu pour des mains et des ventres plus petits. Bah tu m'étonnes. T'es enceinte, qu'est-ce que tu viens foutre dans cette baraque? Sexy Henriette. Non mais elle est con. Ça marche, des bisous Patrick, encore merci pour ton raid. Et profite de ton dimanche. On sempre. Attends, je sais plus si je l'ai fait. Si, normalement. Oui, oui. Par contre, pour Grégory, j'ai un doute. Il y a eu un blabla? Apparemment. Donc Calvin, je l'ai fait. Oui, pour ça, oui. On l'avait fait, donc c'est bon. Par contre. Oui, ça c'est Molly. Donc oui, on avait eu le blabla. Alors, on va rentrer dans la chambre de Barbara. Allez. Oh, et franchement, t'es... Bref.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
travaille à... Vas-y, les tenues, vas-y, c'est Holly. Holly's Dinner, clairement. Bref.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Ouais, j'ai du succès!
Yeah.
Empocher toutes les billes à la table. Bouge de là, ça va. Hop, on pète tout. Pardon.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled, and kill.
Oh dear!
Oh.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Peux pas y aller.
Quelqu'un d'autre.
Ouais, mais...
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. It wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. I call a real eerie tale.
Je vais te tendre l'oreille.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Ouf. Oui.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
M'étonne. Ah, c'est une idée, hein, de cacher la clé. J'aime tellement cette musique, elle est toute...
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Contre le tétanos, oui, pas faux. Encore des nains! Ah, les trucs de grand-mère Edie.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Non.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Alors, le jeu il est sombre là,
I
c'est
remember
normal.
asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Ouais. Voilà. Voilà où a fini Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait
76.
long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can. I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara. And Molly. And Calvin.
Là, tu mets tous tes déchets.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Peut-être qu'elle l'ignorait, je sais pas. Pourquoi Luna aime Rose, pas Luma aime Rose, merci. Est-ce que Luna c'est Lune, hein, c'est mon pseudo, c'est voilà. Et aime Rose parce que j'aime bien. J'aime bien les roses. Donc aime Rose. Simple.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Et qu'à mon avis, il y a déjà le thème de harmonie.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Dans tous les déchets qui n'ont pas bougé. C'est quoi en fait? Ah, c'est du butternut et Tingley, Concorde, grape. Du coup, de la confiture de raisin. Ouais. Non, c'est les grésillements de la lumière.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. that there's only one of us left. Or maybe two. I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Voilà.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Bah, vaut mieux que tu l'écrives, ma cocotte, plutôt que ton gamin aille et déjà il veut venir. Bon.
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Mais c'est chaud quand même.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Je peux pas courir, hein. Info. Merde. Non. J'ai fait le coup. Au vu de son
And when you
ventre.
look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Merde. Les gens sont complètement fous. Je veux fouiller le plus possible. Hein.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Pas faux.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Un chien. Un chat. Bon, après les burpees, on sait de qui ça vient. Chirpy. D'accord, c'était ça le nom que je ne voyais pas. Coco, Zoé. Des lapins, des poissons. Bon, du coup, je suppose... Hein? Non, c'est quand ils sont ailleurs, quand ils sont partis. Et belle. C'est un truc pour une grenouille. H.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Ah tiens, Molly, le petit chat. Calvin, l'astronaute. Sven, le bricoleur. Eddie, l'histoire. Walter. Ça, c'est un peu méchant. La tête de dino, non? Ou alors? Ah non. D'accord. Ah, on voit qu'il est dedans en fait là. Le petit truc blanc que vous voyez, c'est lui. Barbara la star.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Ouais, donc Eddie et son mari. Avec le grand-père qui reste.
She could see it
Sur la
poking
maison.
out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Non, mais par contre, je me pose la question, comment la structure tient? Comment une structure comme ça tient? Encore en bas, je veux bien.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Grégory. Un bébé. Sam. Donc, le grand-père. Et Gus. De mémoire, c'est le frère. Non. Oui. Grégory et Gus sont les deux frères de la mère de Edith. Milton. Sanjay. Donc le père de sa mère.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Lewis. Et du coup... Ouais, Edith, c'est la dernière.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Ouais, mais... Si tu veux pas qu'elle... Je comprends pas. Franchement, je comprends pas sa mère, moi, perso. Regarde.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Alors que j'étais enceinte de 22 semaines. Ouais. Franchement, une bonne idée, hein.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Les tickets pour l'avion. Il aime trop la chasse.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's
I
older
thought
than
you-
you are.
Où est-ce qu'il est? Non.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish,
Je sais pas ce que
how
je
to
dois
build a
prendre.
fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot it. Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
silly.
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Voilà. Ah, c'est fait.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Frère. Alors, c'est par où que je suis censée partir?
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Attends. Si, non mais... Non, c'était avec ça. Non, pas ça que je veux faire. Mais ah! Je voulais lire Divorce Contact avec Kay.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't. There's so much I don't understand. About Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Ouais. On va aller manger, je vous laisse avec ça. La petite musique de pause. On revient vite.
cesse doré. Un mur, le tout est mélodie, je trace des rêves invisibles. Sous ta lumière, je deviens invincible. Mur que je me pose dans l'ombre, mes pensées, je les dénombre. Bisous, princesse des étoiles, dans ton ciel, je trouve mes voiles. Des secrets chuchotés au vent, mes désirs sont des diamants. Je m'égare dans notre galaxie, ode perdue en extasie. Ton sourire éclaire l'obscurité, chaque éclat une éternité. Au-delà des astres et des voiles, toi et moi, légende astrale. Mur que je me pose en l'ombre, mes pensées, je les dénombre. Bisous, princesse des étoiles, dans ton ciel, je trouve mes voiles. Des secrets chuchotés au vent, mes désirs sont des diamants. Je m'égare dans notre galaxie.